we'll just request you to stay on with us. There are some other reactions also now coming in. Karnataka Minister Dinesh Gundu has also now gone on to say that if this entire exercise is going to be based on population, he's talking about delimitation, we should be prepared, especially the southern states, as we are development oriented. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
If it's going to be based upon population and skewing the whole representation towards those states which are more populated, and reducing the representation of those states which are controlling population and are reducing their population, then it's going to be a huge injustice. But I think we should be prepared. I think what he means, is we should get prepared and opposition, especially southern states, because we are progressive, we are development oriented.
So now bring in our colleague Akshara to try and understand what is the point that is being raised by the Congress party. Now the BJP is trying to allay all these concerns and quote-unquote fears. But what are the concerns that are being raised by the Congress party, Akshara?
Well, you see, both Priyanka Kharge and Dinesh Gundu, Karnataka ministers, pointed out two main reasons. One, they said that southern states, especially Karnataka, are playing a crucial role in controlling the population and reducing the population. And if the delimitation process is just based on population, it will be just unjust and unfair on part of the states which are trying to reduce the population. And Dinesh Gundu also points out the fact that they're doing well in the southern states and trying to improve various other index parameters. So,
Akshara, I apologize for interrupting. Let's just try and get in a reaction from the BJP as well. Krishna Sagar is now joining us on the broadcast. So good to have you with us here on CNN News 18. Now there seems to be a showdown as far as this entire delimitation exercise is concerned. Let's first begin with what the Congress is saying. The Congress is saying if this entire exercise is going to be based on population, then we should be prepared because the southern states will see this as an unfair exercise because southern states are all about development.
No, this divide is actually very political, and whatever is convenient can be talked as unfair. I think my question to KTR is, what measures, direct measures, has Telangana state government taken to actually reduce population growth in Telangana state, now that he is claiming that they have been very successful at it? I mean, what measures have they taken? So it is a natural outgrowth of overpopulated, towns and cities and rural areas, because people are getting to be more aware that they need to have a smaller family size to ensure that the growth of the family, both economically and socially, is viable. So what did government do in that? So how are you calling central government is being unfair when the overall population, because of its literacy rates and also empowerment, has contained itself to not overgrow? So this is, this is claiming the credit for nothing and also blaming central government for being unfair. It is population which allows the delimitation exercise to be successfully conducted. And depending upon, the growth of the constituencies, even in Telangana, has actually an impact on the delimitation.
But Mr. Rao, as of now, it's not just KTR. You have the likes of Congress that has jumped in. We're getting a reaction coming in from the DMK as well. So it looks like all the opposition parties are raising exactly that question. And the crux of their argument is that just because we've taken measures to control the population because we wanted to focus on development, today we feel we are being penalized.
No, but what measures? I'm asking. What measures did any of these governments run by any of these non-BJP states have taken so that they can claim that they were only focused on development and they have contained population? This is all a humbug. What I'm saying is that the opposition parties have got a signature style now that they have to criticize everything. Now, if there is a delimitation exercise, there is a framework for it. And then the framework is on the basis of population, which is a base. Now, how are you concluding that all northern states have grown in population? What is the statistic? And what is the measure that you have done something to contain the population in our states in South?
Mr. Rao, lastly, I want to ask you a quick question. Because all these concerns are being raised, how is the BJP allaying these concerns?
See, the BJP as a party, we are exposing them politically that they have done nothing to claim that there is some unfair practice going on the basis of population, because none of these governments have done anything to contain population. There is no measure. Number two, as a government, we are doing what is constitutionally required. When there is a population growth, then the delimitation exercise has to be taken up so that the representation in the lawmaking bodies, right from the lowest level to the parliament, should be ensured that there is the voice which can be represented.
Okay, Mr. Rao, we'll have to leave that conversation there. Appreciate you joining us here on CNN News 18. We're now getting a reaction coming in from the DMK as well. And the DMK has also now gone on to say that this entire process of delimitation, they feel there is a sense of unfairness as far as this scheme is concerned. Let's listen in to that reaction coming in from the DMK.
So Mr. KTR has now called for unity of all the southern states against the proposed delimitation of Lok Sabha seats by the central government. How does the DMK see this, and what's your view? Will you be supporting KTR's views?
See, in 2026, a delimitation can happen. The recently opened parliamentary building, which says we can accommodate as many members as possible, gives rise to suspicion that if BJP is voted to power again in 2024, they may increase the number of Lok Sabha seats, delimit based on population. This delimitation, or increasing the seats based on population, was conceived at the time when nobody had any idea how this will play out. After probably 1960s and 70s, a great emphasis was laid on population control. And now India is, they say, is the first highest population. India has the first highest population. We have surpassed China, and we'll have to see on all that score.